did you guys do the lake tour last year too?
Yeah, we came, basically we were here as the last group going out, and
Yeah,
we
that's
had
okay.
you all to ourselves.
Good. Well, that's okay, because I remember it was a real, the last tour last year, I think we only went till 5 last year, and I think it was, but it was also, very, just small numbers.
There was a lot of glare off the windows,
Okay.
so this is a better situation.
Good. Yeah, our first tour this morning at 11 was standing room only. But then, like I said, it just it kind of dips down after that. And then,
I think everybody sees the posting and they say, well, I better get there early or I won't get in at all, and then
I don't think we've ever had anybody even have to wait to the next hour. It's always, even the first one of the day, it was there was enough seats around. Now I stood, but everybody had a seat. Our next stop is an area where used to be it was known as the burning ground. It was where off-spec explosives were burned, and we had a project where we dug out all of the impacted material and created about 2 acres roughly of wetlands in its place. Really, really nice looking area now. The area where we saw the cap, we had a few, before we started that project, we had a few small wetland areas where we obtained permission to fill them in to facilitate the cleanup. And so as part of that approval, we had to then create the same amount of wetlands elsewhere on site. So that's when we did that as part of this cleanup program, and you'll get to see it here in a few moments. Website address.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Coming up. I don't know if you remember what this looked like, but we had a small metal framework and a few old brick from the former oven, kind of out where that rock is sitting now, and like I said, we completed the excavation late last winter. And then this spring came back in, did our fine grading, brought in a lot of good organic rich topsoil, and then created, we installed all these wetlands plantings. Where you see all the wood posts going around, that's for this black mesh, that's the deer fence, to keep the deer out, because it would be quite an expensive salad bar for them if you know what I mean. And then to keep the geese out from the grass, we string fishing line between all those poles.
Oh.
So that's the technique that is used to keep the geese out from, again, making it their own private salad bar. And then as you get out of the lower areas into the gradual slopes up, that's when you start getting into more of the shrubs and bushes and small trees, and that'll there's a whole scientific approach on how they select these plantings and how they, where they put them with the grades and all. And we've done some watering out. We water out here at least once a week, again, to help the establishment because Mother Nature hasn't. We had a fairly wet spring, but since then it's been kind of a deficit. So that's. And that was probably, that was more than 300,000, closer to 400,000 for just the wetland creation piece between the topsoil and all the plantings and the deer fence and everything else.
Is that going to be wet to the point where there's some ponding in there
In the
too,
springtime, there will be
so
some,
like vernal ponds in through there?
Yeah, because we have some vernal. Well, you'll see areas that they look dry now, but they're definitely wet in the spring for sure.
Good for the salamanders.
Yep. This interior fence line is just the interior boundary between Bridgeport and Stratford. It doesn't have any significance as far as the cleanup goes. We use these orange arrows to direct our truck drivers through the site for our projects, and they were helpful today, right, Paul?
Yeah.
As I get on some of these interior roads and everything starts looking the same to me.
You don't have street signs to say this is X road, that's that road.
Yeah,
Do you still run this?
I do run the perimeter still. I didn't get one in today. I don't think I'm going to, but no, it's one of the perks of the job. It's a good 4-mile perimeter loop with a lot of hills. I don't. I live along the coast, so I don't get hills. I get wind, but I don't get hills. So it's good to get that workout in when I'm up here. Like that area right in here definitely is like an infernal pool area where you can see like the leaf.
It looks like
the
it'll be
leaf
wet.
debris, but now it's dry. But
There goes a deer.
Yep, I
You're
see
in
it.
Stratford now.
Yep, we're in the Stratford portion.
Oh,
Yeah, now we're heading up towards the Stratford entrance, Broadbridge Avenue side. This is when I'm on my run, I come down this hill and then get back out to the perimeter.
Probably a nice relief, isn't it, after coming up that hill?
Oh
To
yeah,
go down. I wouldn't know.
but you can downhill running can actually also take its toll
Yes.
on your quads because you're not used to that a lot of times, and
Yeah,
it can shred your quads pretty quick.
I can see that.
So this is, where the signalized intersection would be, future access point, yep, to Broadbridge, and then the Sikorsky buildings also come out to this intersection. They access it from a road that runs along outside of our perimeter fence. There's an access road. Noticed all the bumps on this road until today. Yeah, you get a very steep drop off, off this right side as it goes down towards Roadway Brook and. This open gate, this is going from Stratford to Bridgeport. These wooden platforms are where, when we're doing active soil excavation, we put the air samplers on these wooden platforms and collect continuous air samples.
You had some
Yeah, we've had them on previous tours, just because since we're not doing any active soil work right now, we don't have them out. And you get a good shot of, as we come down the hill, of the drainage shed in the floodplain, where you can see the cattails and the other wetland vegetation.
doesn't look like much Phragmites in there.
No, we
Sea
really don't.
cattails.
You know, thankfully we don't have a frag, too much of a frag issue here.
It's amazing.
Lovely.
And our wetland scientist was on site today, and he was saying that this is the broadleaf cattail, which is native.
Oh,
And there's a little bit.
There's frag.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the scientific name of the broadleaf cattail?
What was it? Typha something. or other.
Typha something or other.
Yeah.
Well, cattail sounds just fun.
Yeah. People know what you're saying.
Yeah.
They can picture it. Then right here is where the rail line used to come in from, and there's a big old deer down that rail line. I just saw it. From like the GE site and Barnum Avenue site, the rail came up, serviced this property. And then as we now, of course, here's the GE site. They have their own program going. And of course, the school construction, further towards Boston Avenue.
what school is being constructed?
The new Harding High School.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that was going to go on the GE property.
Yeah, and then they'll tear down the Harding, the old high school after the new one's built, and then I believe that will allow the hospital to expand onto the old high school site. Or at least that was the plan. Remember our building that we did all the work in? That's the framework of it.
oh,
It's all disassembled, ready to be reused somewhere.
Yeah, that was still up, I think, in part last year.
Yeah.
I remember when you were running material through there
Yep.
actively.
Yeah, so this is just seeing the cap from the other side. Just like we had a drainage swale on the other side, that the runoff from that side flows that way, from this side flows this way, and this is the start. And so this swale feeds around and then meets up with it. There's a sedimentation basin on that side as well, and you can see where the coconut fiber matting is used to reinforce those slopes.
Oh, that's really cool. So next time when we come a year from now, the
If
body
they
of
do it a
water
year
will